All right, so I'm back. So you got on October 1st, 2025, you got the U.S. began charging for $250 visa integrity fees, right, for immigrants and stuff like that, so they can be able to be here. We can go deeper into that, but I want to go to this as well. What was I about to type in? Oh, so then they're talking about a government shutdown, right? So I'm just gonna pick an article. I'm gonna go to the New York Times. It says White House threats of federal layoffs only deepens shutdown in Passé. It says Democratic leaders said the administration's plan to fire government workers in the event of a shutdown would not prompt them to drop their demands and their spending standoff with the GOP. All right. It says with only 5 days remaining to fund the government, the White House's threat to conduct mass federal firings was a bid to maximize the pain of a possible Slovakia. Maximize the pain of a possible shutdown and pressure Democrats into caving and accepting a short-term deal. But beyond the political gamemanship, it says it was also the latest step by the Trump administration to pursue deep cuts to federal programs and personnel, which conservative Republicans have long targeted out of a belief that government is too large and does too much. It says the move underscored the intransigence, in intransigence, gripping the two parties as they barrel, with no negotiations underway toward a highly disruptive shutdown on October 1st, driven by opposing political incentives and policy motivation. Slovakia. Let me go back. Yeah, I remember I typed this into ChatGPT, but I'm just gonna type it in. Well, I think I got a video. It says during a government shutdown, essential services related to a national security and public safety, like inpatient and emergency medical care, air traffic control, law enforcement, border security, disaster aid, and power grid maintenance, continue, though they may be disruptions. All right, so there's going to be all kinds of disruptions. So like when you got the Medicaid and stuff like that, when it comes to medicine, all right, air traffic control, that's crazy. Law enforcement, so a lot of people going to be getting fired on October 1st. And I wish I can really go to this video. Matter of fact, hold on, y'all. Give me 2 seconds, because if I can pull it up, I will pull it up for y'all. Matter of fact, yeah, if I can pull it up like this, hold on. All right, y'all. I just want y'all to listen to this, all right? Just listen to it. Oh, fuck. All right, here we go. I'm going to turn it up. With the government shutdown, say, here are 4 things you need to know if the government shut down. 4 things you need to know about what it means. Number 1, millions of people working for the federal government won't get paid. So there's about to be a whole bunch of people that's about to be getting laid off and quitting their jobs and stuff like that. Number 1, a lot of people are going to go without paychecks. Millions of Americans that work for the federal government or are connected to the federal government, and that includes members of the military.
Number two, key government services are going to be interrupted. Need to get your passport renewed? Probably not going to happen. Need to get a permit approved? Also going to be difficult. Government services are going to to the federal government, and that includes members of the military.
Number two, it says some key government services will be interrupted. Just like what we read.
Number two, key government services are going to be interrupted. Need to get your passport renewed? Probably not going to happen. Need to get a permit approved? Also going to be difficult. Number three, get a permit approved? Also going to be difficult.
It says number three, important government programs are likely to be interrupted.
Number three, really important government programs that people in need rely on are likely going to be interrupted. Things like nutrition programs and education programs for young people and the poor could all be in trouble. And finally, number four, while all this is playing out, while the government is shut down, the guys that created all this mess, the guys that work over here, well, they're still going to get paid, despite the fact that millions of federal workers won't, and many people will lose out on benefits.
So basically, Congress still get paid, all right? Now, like I said, you know, we in the times of the MOTB, government getting shut down. A lot of things is the dollar is dropping. Let's go to it. Let's see what we can find. We just exploring. Let's see what else. Because I had that. I had October 1st, 2025 for the visas. I had this government shutdown. Oh yeah, let me type in. Here we go. Look, it's right here. AI overview. It says Vietnam. This is in Vietnam. Vietnam has implemented a significant purge of bank accounts in September 2025. This was 2 days ago. It says deleting approximately 86 million accounts that failed to comply with the new mandatory biometric authentication. That's what it is, Salakia. It's nighttime. Authentication. It says requirements. It says the State Bank of Vietnam (SBV) ordered these actions, which also targeted inactive accounts to combat fraud and money laundering. The verification process, which includes facial scans, has proven challenging for many, especially because they don't want to do it, especially foreign residents who often must return to Vietnam in person to update their biometrics, and has highlighted concerns about financial services surveillance and user control over funds. All right, say biometric verification. It says the core reason for the closure is a new regulation requiring all bank accounts to be verified with the biometric data, such as facial scans. All right, just like what Elder Apostle Tahar was talking about when he got that story when he was just now talking about. Matter of fact, he was just talking about it today, and it was, I think it was like a month ago or something like that. It wasn't that long ago when he ended up going to the BMV, another BMV, and they got facial scans and all this other stuff, and or you can put your hand in there and talk about, you know, and then he asked the dude, like, you know what that is? You like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this stuff is being implemented everywhere, and this was 2 days ago. Okay, this is 86 million accounts. They seized the bank accounts to the people that's in Vietnam because they was not trying to go with the biometric verification thing. All right. It says inactive accounts that have not been used for a prolonged period were also targeted this clean up operation. All right. They said this is combating fraud and money laundering. All right. So this is what this devil got coming down the pipe, man. The MOTV. TB, man. The MOTB. We keep talking about it. All right. Let me get this other one because this was today. All right. This was today. I just posted this. All right. There you go. Now you got the United Kingdom, the UK. All right, they pushing forth the digital ID. Okay, it says Starmer says digital ID cards will be enormous opportunity for UK. The cards will be available to UK citizens and legal residents by the end of this parliament. It's a Sir Keir Starmer says plans for a new digital ID held on people's phones will be an enormous opportunity for the UK and make working illegally tougher. It says digital ID will become mandatory as a means of proving Salakia of proving the right to work under the plans, but people will not be required to carry or ask to produce it. All right. So they won't, again, they just cracking down on where you can and can't travel. All right. Because when you got the government shutdown thing, they're saying that you're not going to be able to get your passports renewed and stuff like that. Okay, so you got to think about all these things that's going on. If the government shutdown is on Tuesday, right? It's supposed to shut down Monday night, 12 a.m., Tuesday, whatever, right? It's supposed to shut down if the Congress don't agree with Trump, and which it don't look like that's happening. So that's supposed to shut down. If the government shut down and you can't get your passports, and then when this new system comes up, the new system that's about to, I believe, eventually what's going to end up happening is that you're going to have, because they're going to have, let me see, when is October 1st? It's October 1st on Tuesday as well. October 1st is a Wednesday. So the day after the U.S. government shut down, then they're implementing on Wednesday, the next day, the visa for $250 for you to first get it. And then it goes up to $15,000 bond. So you can see they're trying to implement a new system. And then then they have this biometric verification or identification, whatever the fuck. All right, digital ID that they're making people in other countries get, all right, for a universal, and then eventually it's going to lead to the MOTB. This is the precursor. Um, so yeah, the facial recognition, it's going to do away with, because what's happening is they're going to make it that only the immigrants, if you're a so-called immigrant, you have to have a digital ID. You probably going to have that, a visa, and that. You're going to have the visa, the digital ID, and you're going to have shit. I don't even know, man. And your passport. I don't fucking know. You're going to have all these things, all these requirements. They implemented a whole new system. All right. It was something else, though. Let's read more a little bit into this. It said it will be block. Cancel. It says it will be available to UK citizens and legal residents by the end of this parliament. The Prime Minister said, I know working people are worried about the level of illegal migration into this country. A secure border and controlled migration are reasonable demands, and this government is listening and delivering. Digital ID is an enormous opportunity for the UK. It will make it together to work illegally in this country, make our border secure. Now, if you see what's going on in the UK, they're getting super, super mad at all the Ishmaelites coming over there, so-called Arabs and stuff like that is coming over there. It's a lot of immigration happening, or migration is going on in the UK right now, and they're turning it into like a big ass mosque. All right, they're going crazy. You can't. Here it is. I see on TikTok every day. I see people in the UK. They might be sitting out, or they'd be standing, and they got a table, and it's full of fucking different Qurans and shit. See, they could sell their book, but then if you out there, if you just a regular Christian, let me say Christian, if you a Christian, you could they even saying that you can't be passing out pamphlets, you can't be spreading the word, you can't do anything like that. All right. So now for the white Christians and stuff like that, to them they like, well, look, hey, if we want all these motherfuckers to stop coming over here, we have to take the digital ID, so then that can prevent a lot of that from happening. You know what I'm saying? So white Christians really gonna be pushing it on them. You know what I'm saying? They really gonna be pushing it on them. But at the end of the day, they gonna want to get it too. And like they gonna fight against it. But come on, man, they gonna get it. So it's a lot of things that's going on. The immigration thing, it's a lot. Um, what else I had? Oh, and I wanted to play this video about that $250 thing, Visa card. So let me hold on, let me type it in first before I. All right, so these are things that's happening, man. You know, you got they talking about the CK incident, the assassination, or whatever the fuck you call that. We don't even know what that situation is. All the way to the funeral, which wasn't really a funeral. That was a white supremacist gathering just to keep you all distracted. Bread, circuses, what they really got going in the background when there's drones and stuff flying and uh, all these the chess pieces on the chessboard is moving quickly, as though the timer, like like I have my grandfather. I got it from my grandfather before he died. It's it's a sand time thing. One of them sand clocks. Let me go back. Cause these devils run out of time. I'm gonna get that scripture too. Let me get that first. Let me get that first. All right, this devil ran out of time, y'all. All right, but they trying to implement this MOTB. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. All right, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe, meaning destruction, to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right, so he's moving quickly. The faster this process is done, the faster the MOTB can be implemented. All right, that's this devil. All right, this devil is on. He on one. Um, oh shit. Oh yeah, I wanted to go to the let me just go to this. Yeah, hourglass. Salakia. Hourglass. I got one that's a minute long. All right, they run out of time. Okay. The hourglass effect. I got one of these. All right. Mine lasts for a minute. I used to have one when I was playing chess with this female I used to mess with. And I still do got this. All right. They run out of time. All right. They it's like when they be like, it's the final countdown. Do 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 do. And these some exciting times. All right. So hold on. Let me bag up a little bit. So all right. So I showed y'all they got it going on with digital ID. I showed y'all what they got going on with the visas. I'm showing y'all what they got going on behind the scenes, how they trying to implement everything. All right, this is what they're trying to do. Meanwhile, while all that's happening, you got all these Christians, uh, these white Christians, so-called white Christians, which they just Edomites. Got all these Edomites who believe in Jesus, who's going crazy and stuff like that. It's gonna come to a point. Some big is going to happen. It's gonna be like boom. All right, because it's gonna be more troops on the ground. It's gonna be more lockdowns, more of this, more of that. So it's a lot of things. Oh, the ports. That's why I wanted to show y'all. My bad. I want to show y'all this too. And I'm going to get the last scripture and I'm probably going to close. These ports is mad, all right? Now, they had an article. They said that they might go on strike. Damn. I don't know if they're going to give it to me. Hold on, y'all. Let me try to, shit. They ain't showing shit. Let me type in September. Oh, it say update today. Let's see what they give me. Because you got ports that's going on strike. All right, you got a lot of things at these ports they not talking about. They say there are no active ports. All right, so look, I'm gonna give y'all some info. All right, so listen to this. So while we all have been distracted, this has been going on. Yeah, 40-some thousand port workers are getting ready to strike. Yeah, we're talking about some of the... So we about to type that in, 45,000. Now they talking about, because this is recent, and I don't know why they ain't got the thing up. But this is recent, all right? And they ain't got it up. I don't know why they ain't got it up, but listen to this. Largest ports in our country, including the largest port on the U.S. East Coast in New York and New Jersey. These guys have been striked since 1977. So you might be wondering, why does this matter? Because they said if they go on strike, we will only have enough food to last us 131 days. Now, they've been talking about a lot of famine. Let me give y'all another one. There's a lot of stuff going on, y'all. Let me see. NATO. That's another thing. Trump. So that's pretty good. All right. But like what I said, that digital ID, people ain't going to want to take that. All right. Let me go ahead and get these scriptures and then I'm going to close. Like what I said, I wasn't trying to make this long or nothing. I got the first part to add to this video anyway. So that's like another 5-10 minutes. So, let me go to this. Second Ezra 15:1 says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushai, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that seek against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. It says, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And we are those souls that complain continually. It says, and therefore, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. All right. Now, this Egypt being America, it says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy the land thereof. Let me scroll down a little bit more. Verse 15 says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, meaning the modern day gun. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. For it says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, uh, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, so they're going to be doing whatever they think is right. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And you're seeing that starting to happen right now. All right, they're starting to block off things, especially with with the National Guard, of course. That's on a city and state level. All right, but then you got country level. How do you do that? All right, you implement a new system. What's the new system? The digital system. Okay, so this is happening fast, man. This is happening before our eyes. All right. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, and man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, all the things that they got, whether if it's food, weapons, whatever, because of even your bitch, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. It says, behold, saith the Most High will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. All right, so we are in these times. Now to the pastors, there was something I wanted to read. I'll just type it in. It says, woe be unto the, yeah, that's what I wanted to get. It's Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter. Salakia, y'all, I'm just. All right, Khan, I'm going to read a little bit of this. I ain't going to read too much. This is Jeremiah 23:1. It says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right, now, the reason why I'm reading this is because you got, you know, certain Israelite groups or camps, whatever you call it, or heads of Israelite camps. What they do is they tell people that the MOTB isn't the mark of the beast, or isn't the CHIP, all right, which it is, all right. Rather, if you was talking about the Bill Gates con, whatever has to go into your, whatever that grain of rice or whatever that PC is going to your system, all right, is the MOTB, man. If you're teaching anything besides that, you're going off, all right. The MOTB is a micro C hip, period. All right, and if you call yourself a pastor and you're telling your people it's okay to go ahead and get it, or it's okay for your people to go ahead and, as you've seen, we had people saying that it was okay for you to go ahead and get the COVID-19 shot. So, you know, this is why a lot of these pastors gonna have to die. A lot of our own people gonna have to die because they leading our people astray. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit you the evil of your doing, saith the Lord Yahweh, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries where I have driven them, will bring them again to their foes, and they shall be fruitful and increase. Right? It says, and I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them. Now, our today's shepherds are the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. It says, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right, but I want to go down a little bit, 2 seconds. I read verse 9. It says, subheading, false prophets. Denounce. It says, my heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All the bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine hath overcome, because of the Lord Yahweh, and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of adulterers, and for because of swearing the land mourneth. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right. For both prophet and priest are profane. Yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, save the Lord. And that's what's happening. You got a lot of so-called Israelite camp leaders, or people that call themselves Israelites and teaching and stuff like that, but still doing wicked things and still profane wicked people, or just don't have the correct doctrine. You don't mean, you might not be wicked, but if you believe that what you're speaking in, and from what you're speaking in is 100% true, but if you believe that it is, you're still going off. All right, there's a lot of Israelites that's going around that's like this. It's a lot of bugged out ass Israelites. It's a lot of Israelites with dreads. It's a lot of effeminate as Israelites. It's a lot of doing a lot of backsliding shit. All right, that's why I says the scriptures say, return, O backsliding Israel. It says, for both prophet and priest are profane. Yea, in my house have I profound their wickedness, saith the Lord Yahweh. It says, wherefore their way shall be unto them a slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein, for I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation of the Lord Yahweh. All right, now when you scroll down to I'll scroll down to verse 20. It says, the anger of the Lord Yahweh shall not return until he have executed. It says, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days he shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to the yet. I had not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. All right. And that's what's going on with a lot of our people. Everybody be like, oh, I'm an Israelite. I mean, I can just go ahead and start prophesying. It don't work like that. It just don't work like that. You got to be taught. You got to go through it. You got to, it just don't work like that, man. It just don't work like that. And spirit don't work like that either. You for real. It comes a lot with being a so-called prophet or a messenger of the Most High or anything like that. It's a lot to come with it, man. You got to, make sure your history good and all that. You know. Well, who said that? Mike Epps, he was like, players fuck up too. Right? Um, so yeah. There was one more I wanted to get so I can close this out. Oh yeah, Revelation. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, so let's go down. Uh, all right, verse 13. Revelation 13:15 says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, and free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. Mark G 5480, a stamp imprint. All right, the mark, it says thing carved. All right, stamp imprint of mark stamp forehead, etching. All right, etching into the skin. All right, stamp, scratch, a scratch. All right, graven. It says statue. Let me see. To pale to or stake. Pales within the earth. No, this ain't. To sharpen to a point. All right, so this is something you have to take like that through the idea of scratching. All right, like Bill Gates was talking about the digital tattoo. All right, so you don't want that. All right, this is a mark that y'all do want though. We'll get this, and then we can close out. All right, so don't take the MOTB, man. We can't stress it hard enough, man. This is Ezekiel 9:4. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations to be done in the midst thereof. All right. All right. This is in the Hebrew for Mark H8 420. All right. Desire mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. All right. So one is matter of fact, let me. This is Revelation 20:4. These for the people who don't take it, you know, or the Lord might, still have your back and might save you. You better pray and hope. But hey, man, some of us may have to be martyrs. It is what it is. Get your head chopped off. Be the first one risen. Risen. Be one of the first brothers risen. This is Revelation 20:4. It says, I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shah and of the word of the Most High, the Heavenly Father. It says, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his image upon their foreheads or in their heads. Or in their hands. It says, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. All right. And that's in the kingdom. All right. We reign with them, even though it's going to be forever and ever and ever. But, that's like that first portion. All right. We get these, the other nations going in captivity and stuff like that. So, Lord willing, this was edifying, man. I try to give y'all a little bit of information what's going on out there because I know a lot about technology. So, well, Lord willing, this was edifying. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakodash. Until next time, Shalom.